All right. And let's get this show started. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Power Partners United Women of Power weekly training. We want to thank you guys all for showing up this week and coming back and hanging out with us for this wonderful training that we're going to have. My name is Marisa Fletcher, and I've got three more wonderful women of power. Please jump on, introduce yourself, ladies.
Hi, this is Cynthia Alvidrez here. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Kirslyn.
Go ahead,
Sorry, Isela.
Good morning, everyone. This is Isela Bonada from Southern California.
All right. Good morning, everybody. We just heard from four women of power trainers and mentors in the solar industry. Again, we thank you guys for coming back each week to hang out with us. For those that have been here before, you know that we like to get into a recognition moment. We want to inspire. We want to share with everyone. We want to help everyone get to the level that they want to be at within this platform, within this company. And the way to do that is by getting together and sharing with our peers. So at this time, I'm going to ask people to jump off of mute or raise your electronic hand and give us a recognition moment. And between now and last week, what's happened? What's changed? We actually haven't seen each other in 2 weeks. Has it been 2 weeks? Can't remember. But what's happened? Have you got a new electric bill? Have you got a new seller on your team? Are you growing your team? Jump off and share with us. Why don't I get started first? I'm going to start with one. Miss Vicky, I think you're in the room. There's Vicky in the room. She is a tier 2 on the platform, and she's been growing her team. She's added a few sellers to her team. She works with the real estate and lending platform. I don't know if she's on the call right now, but I know that she successfully have grown her team by 3 sellers in the last week, and 2 of them already have put closings on the book. So that was really, really good for her. They came in with those closings. Vicky, if you're on the call, you can jump in. Don't know, but if not, who else wants to share with us? Give us a win.
I will share one. I had one of my new sellers, Sharon. Her and I went to a networking event, and she booked 2 appointments while we were there. So congratulations to her.
Nice, nice. What kind of networking event was that?
It was Team's big event.
Oh, so like they're where they invite a lot of visitors, or?
Yeah, it was a networking event that they had. Kelly, if you guys weren't here a couple meetings ago, we had the CEO of Team come on and speak about her big event. I decided to buy a booth there. It was only $150, I think, and we booked 2 events, 2 appointments, and got a handful of leads that are following up with us as well.
Nice. Wow, that's a nice ROI on $150.
I think so.
Gotta love those networking groups. Thank you for sharing, Cynthia. Who else wants to jump off mute and share with us? What's your win?
I'll share. I just want to, I know they're not on right now, but I met my team from Puerto Rico. They flew down this weekend for the solar seminar, and I am so in love with them. I love Puerto Rico. I'm not Puerto Rican, but I live there. So I love the fact that we are setting a plan in motion to grow that team, even though you can't really sell Puerto Rico right now, but we're looking forward to growing their sales here in the States. And so I want to congratulate them from flying all the way to Puerto Rico this week, from Puerto Rico to LA this weekend. And then also I know Mark Cobian's on as well. So he just tagged me with a new deal. So we're going to be working on that. Oscar Sanchez too trusted me with his clients. we did a meeting, we did a lease program. So we're going to follow up with him as well. So I just want to thank you all for, as a mentor, we have a big responsibility. So just thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Isela, for that, for contributing. Who else wants to share? Come on, don't be shy.
Hi, I'm there.
Desiree. All right, please share.
Hi, I'm Desiree from Redlands, California, and my win is going to the mentorship this weekend, and it gave me the courage to reach out to some realtor friends that I've had from the past 15 years, and I've been able to set up an appointment with one of my brokers in front of his team to do a presentation. So I'm super excited about that. Hopefully something comes from that.
Awesome. That is awesome. That is big. That's a huge win. Right? Partnering up with another broker or having a friend that's a broker that allows you to come to their office and speak. I know Cynthia can speak on that a little bit because that's one of her strategies, but huge win, right, Cynthia?
Yeah, definitely. That's Desiree and I also had an install this week. So congrats on that too, Desiree.
Yes, yay. Thank you so much, Cynthia. It was my ex-husband too, you guys. So Cynthia's awesome.
Now that's definitely a win.
Yeah.
And Desiree, how long have you been with the platform, if you don't mind me asking?
I think it's been about 8 months, but I was working full-time with the mortgage industry. And as we all know, the market has shifted and I was let go with about 200 people. And so I honestly took a little break, just started enjoying being with my kids, taking them to everything instead of having grandma do it all. So it's been fun, but I started hitting it really the last 5 months and I've closed 5 deals. Well, I haven't. Cynthia, my other mentor has, but it's been fun. It's been a great eye-opening experience.
Amazing. And we welcome you to the platform and happy that it's here. And yes, mortgage taking a little bit of a hit, but now we've got the solar that we can help with. So that's awesome. Anyone else like to share?
Yeah, this
Can
is
you guys hear me?
This is Tracy from Fullerton, California.
Awesome.
And I finally got a bill this week from a guy that signed a contract with Sunrun, and he told me it was a year ago this month. And actually a year ago this week. And the only thing they've done is the site survey. And then he said about a week ago, they finally called him and said they're going to do the install and schedule the date. And then they called him at the last minute and canceled the install. And so he's done with them. And finally, I got his bill and going to work on bringing him into Powur.
Nice, nice. So it sounds like it is true that there's some install problems going on with those other companies out there that we've been hearing about, right? So, and fortunately, we don't have those delays and problems. So nice, good job with that follow-up, Tracy, and helping that client and getting that deal. Great job. Anthony, I see your hand up, but I think Barry wanted to speak when Tracy was speaking, and we're gonna grab Anthony next. How's that sound? You still there, Barry? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hear me?
Yes, we can. You got the floor.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm in the car, which is probably why you don't see me. I'm going to miss a lot of this, unfortunately. Hopefully I'll be able to find a recording of it. But I wanted to jump on the Solar Mentor Factory over the weekend. I was there, including Cynthia Alvidrez, of course, one of my favorite mentors. And Tracy, who just spoke, you know, we were both at Sunrun at the same time together, by the way. And so it's good to see us take on Sunrun. And this is a great group. I love being here every week.
Thank you for that, Barry. We appreciate you being here every week. We appreciate everyone coming back. Anthony, you want to share with us?
Morning. Yes,
Morning.
I like to give a quick shout out to Mark Cobain. We closed his first project with him being a tier 1 mentee. It was a 13.6 kilowatt system, so excited for him.
Nice.
I'd also like to give Carlos Villasenor a shout out because he attended the Mentor Factory last weekend and he's excited. We're going to the Downey office right now to work on his game plan for next year. And we're going to fill these next 2 months into that. And last but not least, I'd like to give a shout out to Isela Bonada. November 1st, so just a few days ago, 2 years ago, that's when she first started with Powur. And I received a text message from her 2 days ago saying thank you. And I got to tell you guys, that's the greatest feeling ever when someone reaches out saying thank you for not giving up on me. You know, everybody goes through their own struggles, their own journey. But if you stick it through and you stay consistent and around great leaders like everyone here, you'll eventually be successful. And from not knowing anything about solar 2 years ago to being an amazing consultant in person, it's just amazing to see that growth. And I always say we always grow together, so we learn from each other. So congrats to everybody who's sticking it through day by day.
Thank you, Anthony. You're so right. We always grow together. Teamwork makes the dream work. I say that all the time. So thank you, thank you. There's a lot of amazing stories in the platform, where we used to be and now where we're at today and where we're continuing to go in the platform, which is one of the reasons why we have these meetings every week. Ramsey, I see you have your hand up. Please speak with us, my friend.
Hi, good afternoon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ramsey Clark, Orlando, Florida. I'm so grateful for so many things. I want to start out with, I'm grateful for the Mentor Factory that happened this past weekend in LA, changed my paradigm, literally. Like, it shook me to my core, made me question everything. And so I'm grateful for Isela, Anthony, everyone who was there, Vicky, who I got to meet and hug, and she's just amazing. And, Cynthia was there, and it's just powerful to hear Cynthia's, time blocking. I'm implementing that today, literally. I'm like, you know what? I can't do this crap. I can't do 20 things in one day. So I'm going to have one day to do this. Okay, social media, cool. Oof. All right, I just loaded all that stress. And I just want to say thank you for that, because that really inspired me. And like, I'm seeing the results today. So amazing. And I got my I'll finish with this. I got my ego shook, I guess, through Forbes Riley. She asked me some questions. If you don't know who Forbes Riley is, she's the, I guess, pitching queen. She was on HGTV and she sold juicers with Jack LaLanne. And we had a sort of intervention, and she said, okay, pitch me. And I tried, and she asked me certain questions that shook me to my core and made me question, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? But it got me back to my reason, and it's an even stronger reason and purpose. And I'm so very grateful for this platform and the people that are on this platform that are with the same mindset as me, who want to help other people become better versions of themselves. Solar's great, money's great, but what we're really leaving is our better people. We're leaving better people. And I'm just super grateful. So that's it. Sorry for the long rant.
No, thank you, Ramsey. Go ahead, Cynthia.
No, good stuff. Thank you, Ramsey. We appreciate it. And I can feel your excitement through the Zoom, and it's getting me pumped up. So I love it.
Exactly. We love it. We love it. Cynthia, please. Okay. So we've been hearing about Mentor Factory. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it, but that was phenomenal to everybody that went there. Can you please share with us about that?
Yes. So in fact, we're going to have a little recap of what I trained on at Mentor Factory. Coming up, time management, time blocking is what I trained on at Mentor Factory. And we talked a lot about that. And then JC is just a powerhouse. If you have not been live to see JC speak, he always just fires me up. We had Danny Pesci there that is just phenomenal speaker. Jay Nolan that just dropped so much, millionaire, multi-millionaire, very successful man who was JC's mentor, who was there dropping gold on everyone. And so I got so much value out of that myself. Just the little bit that I heard. I wasn't able to attend both days, but I did attend one day, and it was very, very powerful. So we will be giving a short mini version of that. In a few weeks here on this Zoom call. I'll be training on the same time blocking and time management techniques that I use that help me in my business. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. You guys heard that. You heard what she's going to be training on next. So you want to make sure you're here for that. And on that note, we are going to jump into our training. So thank you guys for your thoughts. We appreciate them. This week, we are here to see Miss Kiara Smithee. And so Kiara is a very good friend of Miss Cynthia. She's been a part of the platform for some time. I'm going to turn the floor over to Cynthia to introduce Kiara to us so that we can get started with this valuable information. Cynthia.
All right. So for those of you who do Kiara, she's one of my favorite people. Prior to Solar, she did business development and worked with companies like NASA, Marriott, Starbucks, and other Fortune 500 companies. She adopted the Powur platform in 2020, and she has been running her own solar brokerage for 4 years now and has 8 years of experience in the solar industry. And she's a recruiting master. And so we have worked very closely together. When she started within Powur, I was helping recruit some of her talent that she was attracting. She's really just one of my favorite people, such a badass, such a lady boss. I always learn so much from her. So I'm excited that she agreed to spend this time with us today, as she is very, very busy. So we appreciate her time. We're going to be interviewing her today and talking a little bit about how she has found success in recruiting. And then we're going to open it up to ask her some questions once we get through our interview questions today. So without further ado, let's bring up Miss Kiara Smithee onto the stage.
Hi, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes. Good morning.
Hi, Cynthia. I'm good. Thanks for the wonderful introduction.
Of course. Of course. We're so happy to have you here. So why don't we start with just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I do have some questions I want to ask. I know they heard a little bit on the introduction, but is there anything that you want to add to that?
No, I mean, like you said, I've been doing this a long time, worked for Solar City. I was first recruited into Solar City, and then they were absorbed by Tesla. Quickly realized that that was not the place for me. So then went into that consulting role where I was, fortunate to work with all of these Fortune 500 companies. And, this whole corporate America dream, in my opinion, is a scam, because I had this massive salary. I was flying first class, 3 weeks out of the month to the East Coast. There was times where I was in 3 different time zones in one day. I was just strung out, overworked, no time to even enjoy the income I was making. And I was like, look, I'm making this company so much money and I have no time for myself. I can't even eat a healthy meal. And that's when I really got clear on what my life was going to look like moving forward. And I was like, this is not the path for me. I'm good in solar. I know this is the future. Let me get back to that. And so it's been my focus ever since. And obviously one of the best decisions I could have ever made, as everyone here on this call knows, there's just joy of having self-employment and really running your own day to day. So I think you hit it all on the head, but that was kind of the push for me to move away from corporate America and just really run my own business.
Right. Yeah. I know you have shared with me in the past that it was a lot, flying all over, and you were always away from home and you missed your family. And so we can all totally relate to that, I think. So let's get started. If you had to lay out the first few steps for someone who's looking to build a large team within Powur, what would those be?
So first and foremost, building relationships with people, understanding what problems they're having in their current situation. Doesn't matter if they're working at a solar company now, or they're not, or maybe they've never even thought of offering solar. Try to find the issues in their, I guess, life, whether it be career, personal, relationship, and then try to solve those problems. So at the end of the day, this is business to business sales, and you have to offer a solution to people's problems. So to take a mom who doesn't have time for their kids, right? And I know, Cynthia, this was kind of you were like, oh, well, I just wish I could have more time with my kids. So I would come to you and build a relationship and say, well, let me see if there's a way we can help you solve the problem of having more income without sacrificing time with your kids. So the first thing is always just be genuine, actually care about the people that you intend to work with in the future, build a relationship with them, and then figure out what your value add is. How are you going to add value in their life? Because when somebody joins, they're not joining Powur, they're joining you. They're joining what you can do for them and the value that you're going to bring them and how you're going to lead them and help them to success. So identify the problem, build relationships, and then just understand this is business to business sales. So come from that angle. It's more of an attraction model, not a convincing model.
Wow, that's really awesome, because instead of just attracting them to, I think a lot of us tend to just try to attract Powur and sell like how Powur is good. But you're saying find the problem that the individual has, like really tap into what their why is, and then build a relationship and help them with that specific problem. So that's amazing. Did that just blow your mind? Because that blew my mind.
Because at the end of the day, anyone can show a Powur video, right? What's going to determine them going to powur.com and signing up versus, working with you? So Powur is just a platform. We've said this multiple times. People sign up to Powur all the time and fail. And then they're upset. And it's like, well, it's just a tool. It's no different than like Salesforce, right? Like, yeah, the model's there, but you need somebody with that business mindset to help navigate you through the tools that are available. I mean, I could be given wood and a hammer and a blueprint to build a house, but I don't know how to build a house. You've given me the tools, but I need a contractor or somebody to show me how to build that house. And so that's what I help illustrate. It's like, look, I've done this before. Here's testimonials from our agents. This is how we use the platform. Here's how you get started. Here's how you get your first sale. Here's how you become a mentor. And then here's the recruiting funnel that we use to attract talent. Here, go ahead and, build it out yourself. So just showing them why they should join you, because it's just a platform at the end of the day.
Awesome. I like how it's so simple for you, but it's just like mind blowing for us. So what about attracting those people? How do you attract consultants to your team? Like, what are your favorite methods or verbiage?
So it definitely comes back to value add. So social media is big for me. That's actually my background. I ironically got a bachelor's in journalism, social media studies. So we use social media to get interest in front of the right people, the right parties. So being active on social media and providing value on social media. So we're not talking about cute pictures with me with my margarita on Saturday. That's cool, I guess, but it doesn't provide value. So if you go to my Instagram page, you'll see reels on how I talk about different topics within the industry or how I speak directly to realtors. I say, look, if you're a realtor and you're not selling solar, you're making a huge mistake. Getting the curiosity like started on social media and then finishing that conversation and building the real relationship from that social interaction onto, eventually presenting the offer to them, onboarding them as a referral partner, and then outlining the steps to success. We also have just tons of resources that we give our team to help them implement everything, because you're right, it doesn't come easy to everyone. This is something I studied for years. So what we try to do is give them a blueprint and the scripts and everything on here's what to say, how to do it, how to implement it, and how to scale it.
Awesome. Yeah. And if you guys are not following Kiara on social media, she's absolutely amazing on social media. And the new reels that you have been doing, I really, really love them. And I'm totally going to copy you. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, please do. If you guys want to tag me, I'll repost them so I can like see what you guys are up to. And if I have any feedback, I'll private message you the feedback. I would never put feedback in comments, but yeah, social media is a great way too, to just build community online, because with us being all virtual, I know it can be really hard to have that kind of office culture, if we will, which I'm sure none of us miss going to the office, but it is cool to be able to interact with people on social media and, give tips for success. I always do it. So whenever our agents post, a reel or we give them like a social media assignment, I have them tag either myself or our company so that we can go in and provide feedback or congratulate them on an awesome post.
Awesome. And I love how you answered to really pique their interest when you're on social media and then take the conversation offline, because there are certain phrases that when I'm scrolling and I hear something like, oh, what's that about? And so I do notice that you do that, and it is very methodical. So yes, if you're not following Kiara, please follow Kiara. She definitely is one to follow. So next question, are you selective as to who you add to your team?
Yes, we are actually very selective now. In the beginning, we've been doing the traditional sales brokerage model where we just hire people, they sell for us. It was straightforward. And then we were introduced to the Powur model in 2020, and it got interesting. I was like, oh, well, I'll just recruit everyone because why not? Boy, was that a mistake.
I remember this, right? We kind of were working together at that point.
Oh my gosh, yes. And the reason why is I'm super obsessed with my time, as Cynthia mentioned. Like, for example, my key got stuck in a lock the other day. And in my head, my first thought was, if I can't get this key out in less than 5 minutes, I'm going to leave the key in the lock because it's waste of my time. I'm going to spend 30 minutes trying to do this when I can answer 3 emails and get a sale. So that's how like methodical I am with my time. And so when I onboarded everyone, people without solar experience, I just sent them the link. They were just blowing me up with simple things. And my bandwidth just wasn't best spent in those types of conversations. My bandwidth is best spent in identifying relationships with top installers and realtors and referral partners that's going to drive revenue for our business. And so I quickly said, okay, hold on, we're not going to onboard anyone that wants to join our team because we provide so much value and, recruitment resources and training that we know whoever we do bring on is going to be successful. So we want to make sure it's a good fit for us to spend our time training them. And if it's not a good fit, then maybe we'll refer them to another team that has the time or the resources to support them.
Yeah, that makes sense. You put so much work into your resources, which we're going to get into that in a second. But to touch a little more on this question, what are some characteristics that you see that work really well?
So there's one question you can ask that will give you a good idea on their mindset. And so I don't really look for hard skills as much as I look for soft skills. So for example, something I can ask is, okay, tell me about how you come across homeowners today. So what I'm trying to understand is how are they going to generate leads? Because we know we can help them with everything else, but I can't go out there and hold their hand and teach them how to find a lead. And so I leave it a very open-ended question. I'll say, how do you anticipate finding leads? And depending on how they answer will tell me, hey, this is an entrepreneur, I want to work with them, or this person is better fit as an employee at a company where they're given leads and they're not a good fit for us. And that's just kind of the reality of employment. We want people who have the entrepreneurial spirit that are going to take the initiative to go out and build their own business. We're here to just give them all the resources to help scale it, but we're not going to, hey, use this exact script to call this type of person. Like, that's just too much. We want to focus on people who have the entrepreneurial mindset, can find ways to go out and find new business. And then we're helping them, leverage that.
Yeah. And I think this is a really important conversation too, because I know in the beginning, a lot of people are just signing everyone up and just seeing kind of what sticks. You're throwing noodles at the wall and just trying to see what sticks. And of course, not everyone's going to hang in there. Solar isn't for everyone. But if we can learn from Kiara and pin down that, there is a selective process and we do want to respect our own time and we do want to try to look for those qualities in people that, we want to attract and we want to work with because they are going to be the ones asking us questions and taking up time. So I love that you say you look for mindset more than actual skills. Because I think for some of us that aren't as good as recruiting like I don't have a big team. And so a lot of people don't know that, but I'm mostly sales focused. So that's gold. So thank you so much. What about your onboarding process? So as soon as you onboard people, what are those resources that you're plugging them into and what have you found works best?
Great question. So that was something I learned really quickly, that we needed a system and process, because you can bring a ton of volume in, but if you don't have that systematic process, then they're going to fall off. And so something about when I was in college, I funded a lot of my own tuition by creating online courses on different things, how to build a social media following. So online courses is something that I've been involved with for many years, and they're a great way to create that systemized process. So we have our own proprietary software where we basically have online courses that say, hey, after someone isn't registered to the Powur platform, whether they be realtor or a solar professional, whoever they may be, they're going to get dumped into this online course that they complete that shows them, hey, this is the first step, second step, third step. And those steps are basically, get the bill, set the appointment, work with a mentor to close it. That's the goal. Should be everyone's goal, is to generate revenue. And then after they've leveled up to independent consultant, then we have, more resources in that course to help them level up to tier 3. And then we have within this circle community that has the online courses, the space is kind of like Facebook mixed with Slack. And so they can engage with our other team members. So referral partners can talk to other tier 3 mentors on the actual training itself. So knowledge base is great, right, for getting resources. But the only issue is if someone has a question about what they're learning, they can't leave a comment under knowledge base and interact with other people. And so that's what our platform does, is it basically gets people the training, but allows them to interact on that content like you would on Facebook. And just having all those resources in one place keeps the conversation in one place, so you're not distracted with notifications from other social networking sites, and then just really makes it clear, hey, I can see that this agent started X amount of days ago and they're already on lesson whatever. Let's give them a congratulations and create morale. So having an online community that's exclusive, I guess, to your team and providing tons of value and direction. We use online courses to do that primarily, as well as live support in that group.
Okay, awesome. So, and you've created these courses, or are they videos you're pulling from Knowledge Base?
No, we create all of our own trainings and videos and online courses in-house.
Okay, awesome. All right, good to know. And then just to clarify too, Circle is the software that you use. Is that something you created, or is that something that's now open to everyone?
So Circle is a platform that you can build out custom to your business's needs. So we use it to train all of our agents. You can download Circle now, but I originally worked with the developer of that platform and helped him build it out to kind of solve the issues that other learning management sites had. So Teachable, Skillshare, these are all learning management sites where people can enroll and like watch online courses. But there was some drawbacks to those platforms. And so Circle is now a space where you kind of own the community. You control the narrative. No one can like delete your comment, for example. Facebook censors everything. So your comments could be removed. So there's a lot of benefits to this, but the platform's called Circle. It's Circle Community, and you customize it to meet your own company's needs. And for us, it's primarily training our new referral partners and recruits, and then providing additional solar sales training, recruitment, online courses, stuff like that.
Awesome. Yeah. And so, and I've seen what Kiara has set up for my own eyes because we worked closely together. It is, her tools are not open to everyone. I just wanted to make that clear because I know we'll probably get some questions like, hey, can I see that? And so it is, you know, for her recruits. But what I will say is what's nice about it is that there is, you know, you can ask questions within that community. You can post content, you can post videos. So that's what's nice. And sorry, I do work from home, so my kids just ran in the room. Okay.
That's great. We all work from home.
Yeah. So moving on to the next question. Thank you for sharing the onboarding process. What tools, such as like what websites or apps, have helped you with managing your team?
So a good like mass texting software is Simply Texting. So let's say you have a large team and you want to send an update to them via text. Powur uses the same model. I don't know what texting service they use, but I personally, well, not me, but our marketing team uses Simply Texting. And so we have a social media manager that always updates our audience and team members so that anytime someone's added to our team, they get those updates. And you always want to meet your team where they are. Most of us are on our phones, right? So when we get a text, we're most likely going to see it first before seeing an email. Half the time emails go to spam. So just to keep our team updated, hey, dealer fees are going up tomorrow. Today's a good day to push, you know, stuff like that. Really pressing information we're sending out via text to our entire team to help them just be ahead of the curve with changes that are coming on the platform. So Simply Texting is a good one. Obviously, you know, Instagram, Facebook, we just have that for our content that our agents can repost. So they don't have to think about what do I post today? They can literally just go screenshot what we're posting and repost it as theirs. And MailChimp is another great one for people who are trying to do email campaigns. You can set up a MailChimp. And I know, Cynthia, you've mentioned that in the past. It's probably one of the easier ones to start using. Now, you can also get really technical with it like we do, and you can have all these different Zapier integrations to where it integrates with all your other different pipeline management tools. So Trello is another one that we use to like manage our Trello is underrated. Let me tell you, I came across Trello like maybe a year ago because I was so used to Salesforce. And so Trello is a good pipeline management until Powur rolls out theirs, which me and Cynthia are excited for that one. So just certain little things that we're using while we wait for Powur to outroll the new updates, which we know are coming very soon. So yeah, MailChimp, Simply Texting, Trello. I think those are the big ones.
I think Ramsey was asking, how do you spell, is that Trello?
2 L's, Trello. And basically it's a project management board, if you will. So you can have, you know, leads entered, proposal presented, and then a call for contract signed. So I do know that Powur is going to release this to everyone soon-ish. But in the meantime, you know, we were so used to Salesforce as a sales organization, which had all those features. And Powur didn't currently have that. So we had to create our own, substitute, if you will. And so Trello is a great, and I believe it's free. You can upgrade if you want some of the additional features. But Trello is a great way to like keep track of all your leads. And then once you've, let's say, presented to them, you move it over to the next column. So maybe the proposal presented. And then you just get in the habit of following up with your proposal presented every week until they close, and then, kind of move them through the project pipeline.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And then I also do know that you attracted a lot of consultants from LinkedIn as well.
Yes.
So can you just tell us really quickly what the introductory text was, or what your approach was there?
So LinkedIn, you can definitely find a lot of talent and get very granular on the types of people you're going after. It's just kind of SEO searching. So for example, I could search realtors in Southern California, and I would always tailor that initial message to the person I'm speaking to. I don't use a generic, text. So for realtors, for example, I'd say, hey, have you thought about supplementing your income by offering your clients solar during these times, or whatever it may be? See what they have to say, and then you keep the conversation going. So you're not just copy pasting all of the benefits of the platform. You have to first, talk to them as if you would in real life. You wouldn't just walk up to somebody on the street and be like, hey, the Powur platform has 30-year warranty. Like, that would be so weird. Well, you shouldn't do that online either. So just starting the conversation, asking them, trying to draw out what problems they're currently having. Because remember, sales is always problem solution.
Awesome. I think my key takeaways so far are just, instead of throwing power at people, is just really to connect with them first. And then really paying attention to mindset over actual skills, like soft skills over hard skills. So awesome. So we're going to go ahead and open it up to the audience to ask you some questions, if you don't mind. So Marisa, I'll hand it over to you, and let's see who we want to bring up first.
All right. Thank you, guys. First of all, thank you, Miss Cynthia and Kiara. Cynthia, great questions. Thank you so much. And of course, Kiara, great answers. We appreciate your honesty and you being so candid with us with your answers. I know I'm getting a lot of value. I've got a couple pages of notes. I hope you guys are taking notes.
Good.
Just dropping
I'm just
gems,
sharing with
guys.
you. Yeah, I'm just sharing what I've done to be successful. So take what you can, implement what you can, leave what doesn't make sense. But yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, so for the audience, does anyone in the audience have a question for Miss Kiara regarding growing their business? Any specific questions? And I'm going to be checking the chat as we do this. So there is a question. Are you a realtor, or do you mean bringing on realtors?
So I am not a realtor. I've been offered to do real estate so many times. Everyone says, oh, you got the look, you got the vibe. I have no interest. I'm very big on this phrase, guys. There's a million ways to make $1 million, but you'll never make a penny if you try to do everything. So my specialty is solar. That's what I specialize in. But I align myself with realtors, with roofers, with home improvement sales contractors. I say, look, you're an expert in your field. I'm an expert in my field. Let's not try to cross those two paths, but let's, run alongside each other. So we do work with a lot of realtors because, obviously, right? They work with homeowners. They're the best referral partners. So no, I'm not a realtor, but we work with tons of them. And we even take it a step further when their clients have issues with past solar installs. Maybe it's hung up in escrow. We'll step in and kind of help them close the sale. We'll say, no, look, you really do want this house because it has solar. And here's why. This is what it would cost you if you didn't over the next, 25 years. And this is what it's going to cost you because you do. So you actually do want this house. I recommend you put in an offer today. You know what I mean? So work with them very closely, but I am not a licensed realtor.
Nice. Okay.
I have a question about realtors' mindset with lease solar and really transitioning that solar is not a bad idea anymore and solar is a good idea. And how do you also address when people say, well, how much is it worth on the house? How much does it make the house worth more?
I don't want to speak for realtors and what their mindset is around solar, but from what I've heard from our team, it's all in how you position it. So the first thing is the big reason why people have hangups with solar transfers back then it was just a lot more difficult. There was liens on the property. The customer service wasn't there. There's so many reasons why it used to get hung up. But today, I mean, I've helped with 2 transfers in October alone. One was a lease, one was ownership, and it was transferred during a 10-day escrow. So it comes down to you and your, effort to help that client, make sure they're in contact with the right person, being persistent that you get answers. But I was able to help them both transfer their escrow within 10 days. So it's not as difficult as it used to be. So that's the first thing I tell them. And then as far as increasing the home value, I mean, you don't want to argue that with a realtor because again, you're not an expert. You don't know the market. You don't know what a home can sell for or not. But there is an idea of, monetary value and just general value. So value that doesn't have a dollar amount attached to it. And what I would present to them is say, look, if you know that this house without solar is going to cost this homeowner in Southern California $500,000 over 25 years, but if they had solar, it would only cost them $75,000 or $30,000 over 25 years. Do you really think your homeowner is going to want to opt into the house without solar and opt into an escalating monthly bill every month? Why on earth would they do that if they're already at the top of their mortgage payment? They're going to do everything they can to keep the other expenses for this house very low. And that goes for anything, water bills to keep the landscape up. Anything that is needed to keep the cost of running the house low is going to be a value add, regardless of dollars, that you're tacking onto the sale price. And that's typically what we've heard from our realtors and how we present it to them.
Good one. I do want to highlight Ramsey's question in the chat. He says, how do you allocate your time and what do you focus on daily?
So if you guys have not read Atomic Habits, highly recommend. I have tried to get much better at controlling my day. Little things like during this call, my phone is upside down. I cannot see notifications. I have notifications turned off. So just really being present at the task at hand, creating that habit so you don't get derailed and distracted. Also not answering calls as soon as they come in. That even means from a client. So if a client calls me and I'm in the middle of something, I'm not going to answer. I'm going to text them, hey, I'll call you back at my next window of opportunity. So just being very selfish and mindful of your time for one, because you have to be very efficient with your time, especially in sales. And then, so I start my day like 2 hours in the morning. I'll spend outside with my pup, with a coffee, no technology, like literally just walking, peace and quiet. And then I'll come back to my house, change. I'll actually go to the gym. I've started to make that a habit because I would put that on the back burner. I would say, oh, well, the sale is more important than the gym. But in reality, you can do both. You can go to the gym and you can still make your sales. So what I've noticed is I go to the gym and I'm done with all my personal life, if you will, before noon. Meal prep. So now I have meals ready when I get home. So I don't even have to think about that. I pretty much wear the same thing every day, sweats and, it keeps it easy. So I don't have to think about a lot of these things. Then when I sit down to work at say 1 o'clock to 5, I'm focused. It's not to say 4-hour work week, but I'm focused for those 5 hours. I'm producing at a high level. I'm giving value because my mind is clear and ready to go, and I'm receiving value so that I can improve. So that's kind of like my day. And then I do have meetings with, different executive teams to just make sure we're projecting into the future, the right path for our agents. But time management is really just blocking my calendar, making sure it says busy. Like I literally will make the event to take a 2-hour walk and have it say busy. So no one can book an appointment because I'm busy.
We're literally like the same person, by the way. Kiara and I love Kiara. We get along so well. And I trained on this exact thing. And it's a common misconception. I want to highlight what you said. It's a common misconception that the busiest people and the most successful people just work all day long. That is not true. One common habit is they take time off and they take time to get in the zone. And that's what Kiara mentioned specifically, is that she takes a couple of hours in the day, she time blocks that to get her mind right, to get some sunlight, to step outside, to spend time with her pup. And so there's a lot of the top achievers do things like that, early day, midday, or even end of day, to really get their mind in the zone. We do not work 18 hours a day. That's just not something that is productive during your working hours. So I'm so happy you mentioned that. Let's go ahead and let's see who has their hand raised. Edward Espinoza, do you want to come off mute and ask your question?
Yes, this is like, first of all, thank you for all the information. It's been really, really great.
Absolutely.
I'm to this training, so this is awesome as well for all the women putting this on. You mentioned about the Circle. You worked with the developer to design the app to work the way you needed it.
Mhm.
Have you or the developer thought of selling that course to Powur members?
That's kind of a tricky conversation to navigate. We've thought about it, but at this point in time, we are not offering it to other people. There's a lot of like kind of political reasons why with Powur, but no, we haven't offered it to other people yet.
Okay, great. I'm sure there would be a market at this point, but yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for everything.
Yes, no worries. The other thing I was going to note about habits. So a lot of us, we have that entrepreneurial mindset, right? And so we always get these ideas. Oh, I need to take action on that idea. What I've gotten really good at is writing down all my ideas for business development or whatever the idea is on a piece of paper, write it somewhere, and then give it 24 hours. So after I'm on my morning walk and 24 hours have gone by, and I come back and I say, is this really urgent to act on now? Because a lot of times we get ideas and we act right away. Oh, I got to post this post, or, oh, I got to build out this funnel, or, oh, I got to do this. But when you do that, when you just react instead of like craft a strategy, it's not efficient. So when you guys get ideas, I encourage you to write them down, give it 24 hours, and then come back to those ideas and say, is this going to drive revenue? Is it going to push me towards my greater goal? And if it doesn't do those two things, then you can measure how urgent it is to get it done. It may still be important. It just may not be as urgent as you feel it is urgent.
Nice, nice. Thank you so much, Miss Kiara. Are there any other questions from the audience? I am checking the chat. I know, Cynthia, you're checking the chat. Anybody else have any questions about recruiting or growing your team?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Actually, I kind of missed it. Could you please repeat the name of the platform that you said that you use for leads?
We don't use a platform for leads.
Or what was it? I don't know. You were saying something about how to keep leads organized.
Trello. So Trello is just a project management software, I guess I'll say, or a platform where you can enter in your leads and then move them over to the next stages as you maybe present to them or, sign a deal, their insight survey, etc. So you're just moving them through project stages. It's Trello. I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I've been using Trello for a while too. So
yeah, it's
very
great
easy platform to use, free, like Kiara said. Okay, and on that note, hearing no further questions, we are going to go ahead and wrap up our weekly meeting, our weekly training, let you guys know what's going on coming up. Can you guys see my screen? I think so. All right. So please, please, please mark your calendars, you guys. So coming up on Thursday, we have Powur On. For those of you that are newer to the platform and want to learn more about the platform and how to navigate it from corporate, you can go to powurcalendar.com and register for Powur On. Also on Tuesday, November 8th, and every Tuesday, we have a team training series from Power Hitters and the Solar Warrior Tribe. So those are some other mentors within the platform. I'm sure a lot of you know about them already. They do a weekly Tuesday training. You just have to jump on with Zoom with JB at 10 o'clock. You'll be able to be in that training. It's open to everybody. Also, our Breakthrough Masterminds, Wednesday, November 9th. Breakthrough Masterminds, go to powur.live to get that. Of course, you've got us every single week. We'll be back Thursday, November 10th. Just jump into solarwithmarisa.com. Saturday, November 12th, there is a virtual Power Day. So they're doing their virtual Power Day in November, Saturday the 12th. And then last but not least, Monday, November 14th, Power Hour, 5 p.m. Pacific time. I will actually be on there doing an interview with Bobby Smith about real estate and solar. Next week, we have a product knowledge training. So on some of these weeks, we want to make sure that we give you guys product knowledge, so you know what are the different products we use, also finance knowledge, things like that. So we've got Solar Edge coming to give us training on their products and how to best use them for our customers. Michelle Spina is going to be teaching and speaking with us next week, November the 9th at 10 a.m. Thank you for taking the time to watch the Women of Power training series. I hope that you got some great value out of that video, and there's much, much more where that came from. Listen, if you'd like to join Powur or find out more about this awesome and amazing platform, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is in the description. I look forward to connecting with you real soon. Have a great day.